Hello and good morning. Welcome to Matcha Mornings with Diane. I am your host, Diane. I am a dancer, performing artist based in New York City, and welcome to my podcast where I talk about all things mindfulness, life in New York as a performing artist, creativity, art, and everything in between. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my podcast. Hello, welcome to another episode of Matcha Mornings with Diane. I honestly don't know how I feel about turning 29 just yet. I am currently feeling a lot of emotions, and I think it's because of what is currently happening around us. And as much as I have also been making sure that I am taking care of myself, I am staying as connected as I can with my friends and family, I cannot help but feel the collective grief and heaviness right now. Also, we still have a few more days in this year of the snake, and I am taking that into account because truly everything that's been happening around us is showing us that the very foundations that we are operating on in this world are crumbling, and everything is just being brought to the surface. And I know how overwhelming it can feel, but I truly believe that things will get better pretty soon. And I truly have so much faith in God and the divine and in us as humans. If there's anything that these hard times have shown us, it's definitely that so many of us still want to make this world a better place, not just for ourselves, for a select group of people, but for the majority, for everyone. That yes, we all deserve to have a good life, and that we all deserve to be treated like humans, because in many ways we are so connected. And yeah, I don't know, because of everything that's been happening, I just think I haven't even had the time to think about celebrating myself. Of course, I try to do that every day, even just like small things, because I think it definitely helps me a lot with my craft, just like how I love myself and just building that self trust and self belief, which obviously are things that you will work on throughout your life. It's a journey, and every day, every week is just different. And so, yeah, truly right now, this is where I'm at. I still cannot wrap my head around the fact that I am entering my last year in my 20s. I feel like I've already lived like lifetimes because of the things that have already happened in my life. You know, like losing my mom at such a young age, moving to a different country early in my 20s. Like, I have done a lot of things already in my life. I have made so many changes, and I have grown so much that me speaking here right now, I just know that even from last year, I'm already such a different person. And so to even see it now, like in retrospect, I truly have lived through so many versions of myself already. And while I'm really excited to see who I become on my 29th year, I am also just really taking this time to reflect and be grateful for the past versions of myself that have brought me here. Of course, like there were really hard periods in my life that maybe in some ways I wish I didn't have to go through, or I wish it didn't happen that early on. But looking back now, I just know that really served a bigger purpose, and all of these experiences have led me here, and they just make me who I am now. They have really like deepened who I am as a person and as a soul, as someone who definitely has a purpose here on earth. And truly, I am still trying to figure that out. I have honestly spent the past few days thinking, wait, do I even know my purpose? Do I even know who I am? Because I think majority of the time I do know. Like most times I feel pretty confident in what I want to do, but truthfully the past few days I have just really been feeling like uncertainty is just really enveloping, I guess, my entire life. I feel like in every aspect of my life right now, there's just so much uncertainty. And I know I'm not alone in this, but yeah, it just feels so weird and even a little frightening and maybe frustrating to feel like I don't know. But then again, I think that's also the point, is that we're not supposed to know everything. And in fact, I don't think we'll ever know everything. That certainty really just is an illusion. And all we can do is just walk forward and experience life and see how it all unfolds and just be open to experiencing it all. So, yeah, I think that's really where I'm at right now. Again, I just feel like I haven't felt like I actually want to celebrate myself yet. I know I will probably start to feel it. Like a few days before my birthday, I am lucky that my sister is coming for a few days and we've already made dinner reservations. So it's going to be a great time, and I've already picked an outfit, although I still have to finalize it. But yeah, I actually wanted to share on this episode 29 lessons that I have learned in my 29 years of existence, and I have spent the past few weeks just like writing things on a whim, whatever like comes through me, and write those things down as lessons that I have learned in my 29 years of existence. And because, wow, 29 is a lot, and I did write a lot of very honest and raw things, I just know that I have to read these from my notebook, from my journal, because I don't want to skip on anything. Yeah, just be prepared on what I'm about to share. And I hope this lands with you guys, even if it's just one thing. But truly, I just want to share what I have learned. Okay, now I think it's hitting me a little that, oh gosh, I am turning 29. And I know it's exciting, but yeah, I think with the current state of the world, it's just, I am feeling so many things. Like, that's all I can say. I'm feeling so many things. But here I am, showing up and still just wanting to share. Okay, wow. A lot of pages, but I think I was just like really writing this, like I was just really in flow state, and I think that's how it's supposed to be. Letting things flow and not even overthinking it. I think that's definitely my biggest goal as I enter my 29th year of really just trusting myself more, trusting the flow more, and trying to overthink less. I just really want to be in my body more and less in my head. I think I have just been always that logical person. I have always been a problem solver that sometimes I think it's a little too much, that I just put myself in paralysis, that I feel like I couldn't even move forward because I am always thinking about what to fix or what can happen next, always thinking about the possible scenarios when truly the only thing that I have to do is move and do without thinking so much about where things are going to lead me. And I think that's the exciting part too. And I think it is such a good thing that I want to bring into the next year of my life. So here are the 29 lessons. So for number 1, the greatest love story you'll ever have in this life starts and ends with you. Number 2, there's no right or wrong way to live, only what's true to you. Oh boy. This definitely got me. I know it's like such a simple and straightforward lesson, but as someone who has definitely had the tendency to compare herself, and I think a lot of the comparison gets exacerbated when I spend so much time online and doom scrolling. I forget that the only life that I have to live and focus on and be truthful to is my own life and my own journey. So that one actually hit me. Number 3, you can do everything right and still feel unfulfilled or unsatisfied simply because you refuse to listen to what your heart wants. This lesson has actually rang true many, many times over the past year for me, because I think there were many instances that I thought, okay, this is the only way, this is the right way to do things. But then getting to certain goals or achievements, I suddenly am just like washed with, I don't know, like almost like this unfulfilled feeling or just dissatisfaction that it just underwhelmed me. And it made me realize, okay, I have probably just been thinking my way through life instead of feeling my way through life. And as scary and as vulnerable as that seems, truly it is what your heart wants that will actually bring you a lot more fulfillment in your life, your heart and your intuition. Number 4, success comes in many different forms, but I don't think there's greater success than being able to build your dream life with the most supportive people around you. Yep, I truly, truly cherish my relationships and my friendships, and I definitely want to continue meeting new people and just build a community. And that is my biggest goal with this platform that I have too, because we're not meant to live life alone. Our journeys are meant to be shared with the people we love. Number 5, discomfort and a bit of loneliness is the price to admission to a greater and truer life. I think that is the theme of 2025. And for me, this was, I think, the theme of my 2025. And my Saturn return, because apparently 2025 was when my Saturn return began, and I'm about to reach the end of it. So yeah, I have been through a lot of discomfort, but then again, discomfort really just shows you how much you can grow. Number 6, having desires and determination is great and incredibly human, but sometimes it is important to learn how to receive instead of asking for more. Yeah, I think this had to be said to myself because I know for myself that, especially in the recent years, I have always strived to get more, to achieve more, 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 more. And to a certain extent, it's okay to have that. Again, it's incredibly human to desire. But we do need periods of just learning how to lean back, to sit back and actually receive and be content with what we already have. More isn't always more, especially when you do not know how to be satisfied or content with what you already have and where you're currently at. Like everything will just feel like a race, and even when you're achieving or getting more, it just won't feel so great when you can't even appreciate them in the moment. Number 7, the only path and timeline you should be focused on is yours. Comparison truly is the thief of joy. You have to become the main character of your story. Yeah, I already talked about this earlier. For recovering people pleasers like myself, it is a journey, and it may even feel a little selfish to do so, but I promise you that it only gets better. And I have truly found a lot more satisfaction and fulfillment and peace in my life by focusing on myself. Number 8, life will always be unfair. So there's no use in carrying shame if you have the resources and privilege to go after your dream life. It is a part of your gift to be able to use these resources to create something bigger than yourself, to be of service. Embrace it. Huh. Whew. This is something that I also had to unlearn. I think I used to feel shame for having certain resources. People will always have their opinions. And even for ourselves, like I'm sure we have those moments when we would say like, oh, like this person has so much stuff, and we proceed to list things that we think are wrong with their lives, but truly we're deeply and unconsciously probably just triggered or jealous of what they have. Even for me, I have to be pretty aware of that. And actually, I welcome jealousy sometimes in my life. I mean, like jealousy, as in me feeling jealous of someone or some sort of environment or situation, because it does show me that, oh, okay, like this is something that I am desiring too. And it's just a matter of reframing that and remembering, okay, I'm triggered because I know that this is also something that I want. And it's not completely invalidating your jealousy because it is so human. It is so human. And I think we actually have to allow ourselves to feel that every now and then, just not dwell in that feeling. And again, it's just really a matter of reframing and knowing what that jealousy is trying to tell you. Now, I am applying the same thing, that if someone were to say something about me, some sort of judgment or opinion, and maybe there is a part of me that wants to feel shameful for obviously things that I already have in my life, which for most of them I have worked my ass off to get them. I tell myself, no, it's okay. Like I deserve maybe one day they will also realize that I am just being a mirror to them. I am just a mirror of possibilities to them, and there's no need to shame me and for me to internalize that shame, because I truly am just doing my best, and I am just trying to create a life that is fulfilling, not just for myself but for everyone around me. And so yeah, for me it's just really coming back to my center and knowing that I am just trying to do good as best as I can, and I know that we all are. Number 9, there is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to believe that some things in life can come with so much ease. More often than not, the greatest things in life come with so much ease and surprise. It is okay to not want to always identify yourself with struggle anymore. This also hit me really hard as someone who is a chronic doer and very type A and hyper perfectionist. And I have learned, especially in the past year, that actually life is pretty great when you allow yourself to be a bit more type B and just be in receiving mode and in being more. Because, wow, truly life can be so beautiful when you don't associate everything with struggle and you don't attach yourself with your struggles anymore, or the idea that you always have to struggle in order to be deserving and in order to receive amazing things in your life. You do have to surrender a little, like let life surprise you. Number 10, it will always be aligned over hustle. When you are aligned, things just flow. It is not without challenges, but you just come from this place of wanting to create and pour yourself out into the things that light you up. This is how you create fulfillment, not just for the sake of being busy. Ooh, definitely learned what it's like to feel aligned busy versus busy because I feel like I'm racing against time or I'm chasing after something and just being busy for the sake of being busy. It's all about alignment, guys. It's not in the hustle. Number 11, it is important to honor your seasons. Pushing through to please your hyper perfectionist self and prove yourself to yourself and others will backfire and prolong your recovery period. I feel like my body has gotten a lot more sensitive, or actually, I know that I've always been such a sensitive gal, but last year especially, I just knew that there were so many moments that my body already wanted to give up, and I'm actually happy that I listened most of the time. It did come with a bit of guilt, knowing that I'm just so used to always being in motion, feeling like I cannot catch a breath. It's so important to remember that we have our seasons. I mean, even nature has its seasons. We are a part of nature. So there are seasons in our lives that we're meant to slow down. I think especially right now, it's still winter, and I have to give myself this reminder, like there's a reason why the sun sets a little earlier and, the nights are longer. And yeah, it's so cold. I think everyone is tired at this time of the year. And so it's okay. It's just the seasons. It's temporary. Number 12, no career is worth sacrificing your health and sanity or well-being for. It is important to separate your identity from what you do every now and then. Number 13, always taking things so seriously kills fun and openness. Yep. I had to learn this last year. I was like, oh yeah. I think sometimes I'm just like taking things too seriously, that I just have to remember it's not always that serious, and life just gets more fun when you realize that, oh yeah, actually I get to have fun. Like fun isn't something that's supposed to be optional or earned. Number 14, perfectionism delays or stalls progress. Post that shit and show up anyway. No one's perfect, and it is a bold act to show up even when you're a mess. This is me doing it right now. Number 15, the answers you are looking for are more often than not already within you. Number 16, sometimes the most productive thing you can do is pause. Number 17, creativity can flow when you're not so focused on control and the outcome. Creative energy just is and needs space to flow into. This is for all of my creative gals. Number 18, risk taking is a part of living a bold life. Take the leap alongside fear. Because I truly believe that being fearless is impossible. I don't think there's anyone who's actually fearless. The people we think who are fearless actually just know how to do life and just do things with fear anyway. Number 19, you become the people you surround yourself with. So be picky and mindful of your energy. Yep. Be selective. Number 20, always thinking in absolutes is limiting. Learn to live with the nuances and see how magical life can be when you choose to hold and see different perspectives. I have to admit that there were certain beliefs that I held onto for so long that felt very black and white, and I know a lot of it is just really influenced by the environments that I've been in and the people that I have surrounded myself with in the past few years, that I have forgotten that life is not black and white. Sure, there is always going to be duality in our society, but life isn't meant to be lived in absolutes, and especially in relationships and friendships, we have to understand that there are just things that cannot be I don't know how I'm saying this. But yeah, like you just can't think that everything is just black or white, because life is just this whole spectrum of colors. That's why we have rainbows. Number 21, avoiding conflict is avoiding depth and growth in relationships. I definitely had to learn this in the past year. I think that I have always been that person who is afraid of conflict, and not that I've never been in conflict in my friendships and relationships, but I learned that I do have the tendency to avoid conflict, and I know that this is very common with people pleasers because we are so afraid of being abandoned, and we attach our worth, or we basically place our worth in the hands of other people who may reject us, or who actually might not want to meet us halfway and like reconcile and give us reciprocity within our relationships. But I have learned that truly your relationships just grow deeper when you can actually welcome conflict into your relationships. It's just all about the repair, because none of us, we are just incredibly flawed beings. And that's also such a beautiful thing. It is actually in conflicts that we truly get to see people for who they are, like their truest selves. That is such a beautiful thing, but I know how scary that is when you've probably learned how to be so performative throughout your life. And I truly am thankful for my friendships that have gone through conflict, and I will say that they have definitely just allowed me and like another person to have a much deeper relationship, to have deeper love and respect for each other, because we both cared enough about our relationship to bring this up, like this honest truth, even though it feels a little scary. Number 22, balance is something that constantly changes and is very personal. Balance during a very busy and opportunity filled season is so different from balance during a slow season. To think that it's supposed to look the same all year round will only lead to frustration. I guess this is pretty much related to just honoring your seasons. Number 23, we can have it all, but not all at once. As humans, we only have limited capacity, which is why it is also important to practice gratitude for what we currently have, because up leveling will require us to let go of certain things to make space for the new. You have to think. Number 24. Doom scrolling is another form of drug that can warp your perception of reality and leave you dissatisfied with where you're at in life. Set boundaries with the type of content you consume and the time you spend online. Yep, this is one of the things that I am actively working on in 2026. And life is just so much better with how intentional you are showing up online and with what you consume online. Number 25, control is an illusion. There are only a few things we can control, and it's mostly within ourselves. The more we try to control and try to play God, the more resistance we create. Yep, this is for my peeps who probably have a problem letting go of control every now and then. Number 26. Grief is the greatest form and teacher of love. Going through cycles of it teaches us so much of our capacity to love and be loved. How beautiful is it that we get to experience love in many different forms and in commune with the people who become a part of our lives. Life is finite, but we get to experience the vastness and infinity of love in our lives if we choose to see that love truly is the fabric of the universe. Number 27, change is the only constant and permanent thing in this world. Resisting it prevents you from moving forward and experiencing the abundance life has to offer. Number 28, nurture your connections and relationships. We were never meant to journey through life alone. Being connected is essential to living a healthy life. Having a social life is key to a happier life. Definitely more important than your career. This is something that I have to remind myself of. And I will argue that successful people can attest to the fact that healthy relationships are the foundation for success. Yes, yes, yes. That is all I can say about this right now. And this is why I truly value my relationships, because whenever I have a bad day or even just like I'm going through such a hard time in my life, just having my relationships and pouring into them and staying connected with these people just really reminds me that life truly is about sharing it with others. And for the last one, number 29, most of the time, all you need is some breath work, a good walk, proper hydration, delicious and nutritious food, and some company or some sort of connection to remember just how much of a blessing it is to be alive and to experience your own life. I have been thinking about that these days, that it is the simple things in life that remind you just how beautiful life is, that it is worth living, and that sometimes we just overcomplicate things. When we simplify it, I think we just have greater access to our happiness, to our joy, and our peace. Whew. Those are my 29 lessons that I have learned in my 29 years of existence. So, yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this birthday episode. My birthday is actually on Valentine's Day. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I truly am just so grateful for your support. I am sending you guys so much love because I know that many of us are just going through it right now, but I truly believe that we are about to enter a new paradigm and our world is just about to make a big shift. So there is light ahead of us. I mean, I am already beginning to see a bit of light, But yeah, sometimes you just have to go through darkness. Like you need a bit of darkness for the light to just really shine through. So yeah, thank you so much. I hope that you have a lovely day.